Greetings and salutations. My name's Badger.
Greetings and salutations, my name is Badger. Welcome to some Dota 2 action. We're here for some League of Lads Season 7 matchup between the side of Sheeeesh, formerly known as Step Bro Stuck, taking on Team Rarecandy. I am joined by the one, the only, Artorius. How are you tonight?
Pretty good. Looking forward to casting tonight's game.
Yes. That is definitely what you're doing here tonight, is flaming.
I always flame, let's be real.
That is real, actually. Let's check my audio, make sure my audio levels are good real fast. Yeah, you should be good. I have you turned way the hell up as per usual, which is what I need to do usually. But looking at our, we didn't say one thing, is we are not 1 to 0 yet. We are 0 to 0. We just
But a caster and a lobby host mark the win. Shouldn't you as a caster be happy?
Yeah. There's no wins yet, that's the problem. Let's go put this 0-0 thing up here in the corner, because we are apparently unable to do things properly sometimes in this league, but that's okay. We got actual draft to talk about finally. We got Earth Spirit, Centaur, Bama side of the Radiant. We got Ancient Apparition, Broodmire, Bama side of the Dire. We have a first pick, Death Prophet, the Malefic Classic, followed by a Mars Snapfire, followed by an Oracle. Where do you want to start with this one?
I don't know. Just seems pretty normal. Picks and bans, some meta bans, some respect bans, and then either comfort heroes or meta heroes picked. So nothing really to talk about so far. I guess the Mars Snapfire combo is a pretty good combo. Nothing really much to say about a Death Prophet Oracle combo, unless that Death Prophet's mid, because you probably are not alting your Death Prophet if it's only a 4. My name's Badger. Oh, I just realized.
What do you realize?
You started the stream as I was saying greetings and salutations.
I know you did. I still want to. It's like there's about like a 10. The thing with OBS sometimes there's anywhere between like a 5 and a 10-second delay between when the button gets pressed and when stuff goes out sometimes. So I have to give like a 5-10 second pause, and you were like, "I'm gonna be Burke. I'm gonna say words. Fuck you, piece of shit, Canadian."
You were just saying that quietly, and I'm like, "Are you gonna say anything? Did he forget his opening? I'll help him out."
You're wondering if I forgot my opening. The same words I say every time I open a cast. Words that I've used, I've been listening to for the last 8.5 years. Come on. You're smarter than that. Are you smarter than that?
That's debatable.
You should be smarter than that.
Firefighters are stupid.
Good point, good point.
You know what we call that 400 square foot pit? The 400 square foot pit? If we called it anything else, we wouldn't remember.
I remember you had this rant about firefighters calling things by literal names, and you're like, "Oh, it makes us so stupid." But I appreciate that, right? Because I've worked in multiple professions where the things are named differently than what they actually are. The worst it was when I worked in the supermarkets. Everything there was called differently than what it actually was. Like, you know, like the little refrigerators with drinks in them towards the cash registers? Those aren't refrigerators. Those are coolers. You know, like the dairy refrigerators? Well, those aren't coolers. Those aren't refrigerators. Those are cases. There's tons of like of stuff like that. I would love to just call things the way they were. It's not a thing to be flaming, you know. You should appreciate in your profession they just call things the way it is. 'Cause I assure you, supermarket workers are not that intelligent. They don't need to be reminded what a refrigerator is or anything.
Have you considered that 3-story structure over there is called the 3-story structure?
No comment. Alright, back to actual Dota 2. What do we have here? We got some bans. We got Huskar, Bristol Timber by the side of the Radiant. We got Medusa, Stormsphere, and Invoker by the side of the Dire. And Rarecandy go into a Hoodwink. Any thoughts on this Hoodwink? Is this like a mid lane hero? Is this a 5 hero? What's the idea behind this hero here?
Assuming this is either a mid or a 4, obviously. Actually, no, it does not pair very well with Mars, because Mars destroys all the trees, and the tree that Hoodwink makes that she can latch people to, Mars cannot spear people to that tree.
Really?
Yeah. We
Sad.
found that one out the hard way.
Speaking of heroes that I'm
However,
sure you're familiar with, Sand King.
Pepe Teddy Sand King.
The classic.
Yeah. Pretty good into Mars, because you kind of just sit there inside of his ult and you don't care.
In worst case scenario,
However,
you can burrow through the wall, right?
yeah.
Yeah, there
And
we go.
however, that hero is pretty good against Sand King and Lane. But as we have found out about this patch, lanes don't matter.
Yeah, sometimes you just run into the jungle and then you just get a farm anyways. That appears to be the primary modus operandi of the patch, is just get money.
Yeah. I think with people started to figure out with the outposts, the map changes, making it easier to farm, and nobody wanted to take the offlane tower, it's hard to actually stop a carry from farming. So people have just started picking these late game heroes.
Speaking of late game carry heroes, that one right there. It is a Faceless Void. Got a lot of team fight combinations so far from both teams, actually. Obviously, Sand King, Void, DP, good team fighters. Radiant side also have a good number of team fighters as well, so this draft is shaking up like it's going to be a real heavy brawl game. Is that what you're seeing as well right now?
Yeah, there's going to be like nothing for the first 10 minutes. Maybe like one or two group pushes for a tower. And there's just going to be a massive amount of farming into some heavy team fights.
Alright, so hopefully there's not too much action between, say, the laning phase and the mid-game team fights, or else we're going to be out of material.
Yeah.
Both teams, though, seem to need a mid laner, from what we can tell. Both teams are banning out mid laners, and both teams certainly have a mid laner-sized hole in their draft. Puck is being banned by the Radiant. Shadowfiend is being banned by the Dire. Any mid laners to jump out right now, or just would you expect comfort and or meta heroes, as has been for the entire draft so far?
I think one of Itachi's big heroes, Invoker's already been banned out. Puck, obviously a very meta hero, has been banned out. Although that is one of the heroes that is pretty good at taking care of Sand King and Faceless Void. I guess either Skull Candy's mid laner doesn't play it, or they just feel like it'd be stronger into them, since the Dire have the first pick of their mid laner. Nothing really seems to be jumping out too much. I think both teams just want like a bit of an active mid laner who's going to deal a little bit of damage. I don't think we'll see any farm heavy mid laners, unless Hoodwink is the mid laner, in which case then we'll be looking for a 4. Or DP is the mid laner, in which case we will also be looking for a 4 on the other team.
We're assuming it's the Malefic DP, though. It is the classic, though obviously League of Legends can play it. On the flip side, Hoodwink, I'm not really sure what Hoodwink's doing just yet. Could be either direction on that arrow.
I guess it could also be a Snapfire mid. And it could be a Sand King mid, but I don't think anybody actually uses that tech.
We definitely have seen less Snapfires as of recently middle lane than we did a few months ago. It was certainly a lot more in vogue a few months ago.
It just kind of does the same thing no matter how much farm it has.
Yeah. Well, it was a DP middle. We were misled there, so it will not be the Malefic DP. It will be the probably Malefic Clockwork, leading it to be a League of Legends mid lane DP.
What if it is 3 Clockwork, 4 DP, and mid Sand King?
I'm just not going to acknowledge possibility. I don't want to enable that. I don't want to. I don't want to pretend it's possible. I just don't want to.
What about a 3 DP mid Sand King, 4 Clockwork?
That's better, but still awful. Wouldn't you want a good matchup?
One of those Clockwork is one of those other heroes that kind of does the same thing with the same farm. Well, with any amount of farm. I guess Ags makes it a bit better, and then you can kind of just get tankier, but that's about it.
We have seen, ever since clocks become less farm dependent, we've been seeing less clock 3s and more clock 4, just because, hey, If you don't need money, then just play it 4. Alright then. That is a Morphling. That is a mid lane Itachi Morphling, it appears. So KTA is not here tonight, and this Weatherman guy will be his replacement for the night. Not sure where KTA is at, but certainly it is not in this lobby. And then Rarecandy have their actual 5-man roster, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Have they played a series yet this season?
Don't know. I will double check on that one.
They certainly have not casted a... Actually, they played one series already. They played 1-1... They won one... I think it was low-key noobs. But now they're just here taking on the side of Sheeesh. Do you prefer either of these drafts, or you a little more neutral right now?
I'm kind of a little bit neutral. I think they have the answers to deal with this Morphling. They have silences, they have stuns, they have Chronosphere. But they don't have damage to deal with Morphling. Like, they have the lockdown. But I think unless this Void gets farmed, they're going to have a big problem. I think on the other side, there is a very greedy draft from the Radiant. But I think it's going to be hard with the Dire Heroes to punish that as much as they need to.
Alright, here we go. If you are just joining us, welcome to game number 1. That's right, game number 1. Wait, the markers went away, we're good. We can get rid of this on the screen. Okay. Game number 1 of a 2-game situation between the side of Rarecandy and the side of Sheeesh. My name is Badger. I am joined, as always, when possible, by the one and only Artorius. And we are in the middle of a pause, because we get pauses sometimes in Dota. Who is this Pepeg member on the side of the Radiant? Joker Swiss is bringing it up, but I'm not as immersed in the Pepeg team lore to know who is a Pepeg and who is not.
I don't know either.
At least I'm not alone on that one. I feel somewhat better now. Let's put it that way. I feel somewhat better. Keyword is somewhat. Looking at these side lanes though, anything that we're seeing a Sand King and a Clockwork take on a Jug, and I believe that is a Snapfire. Yeah, that appears to be a Snapfire safe lane support and a Hoodwink offlane support. On the flip side, we have a Hoodwink and a Mars taking on a Void and an Oracle. Anything that jumps out off the page on that one?
I don't think they're... I think bottom lane, the Dire are going to struggle a little bit. Obviously, Sand King, not a very strong laner. Clockwork can be, but typically only if his offlaner can help him. He can almost kill someone, but not really ever solo kill someone. And Sand King's definitely not very capable of helping a pause 4. Then in the top lane, you kind of have a bit of kill potential. You have Bushwhack and Spear eventually, but Time Walk is just going to make it so hard to actually kill the Void. You might be able to catch the Oracle, I guess. And on the flip side, Oracle can do a good amount of damage, but it costs a lot of mana. And Void isn't really good unless he bashes you 10 times. So that will depend on the lucky bashes, I guess.
So basically, if you're a fan of early action, bad news for you.
Oh yeah, you got that Morphling DP mid. That's not going to do anything either.
Oh yeah, I mean, unless somebody outskills somebody or it's a major matchup situation, usually not much happens mid lane until around minute 5, minute 6, when you get the active runes, when you get the ultimates. So I'm hoping for nothing middle lane other than just hit creeps. Side lanes usually can be a little more helpful, but
yeah, I think
this game is rough.
Mid lane typically deaths only happen when there's an outplay or a misplay.
Yeah, that as well. Misplay and outplay are two sides of the same coin, though.
Yeah, you can kind of see them relatively as the same thing.
One man's misplay is another man's outplay.
Yeah.
I chose outplay because I'm more optimistic and I give the players benefit of the doubt, but you are Mr. Flamer, so you don't do that. We saw an attempt on a curve bottom lane. Malefic did not get it. Now Jug is on the way. 2 o'clock. Never mind, no he is not. He's back to the creeps. He is letting Malefic walk away. Mid lane, DP actually is under the tower right now with 5 dire side creeps. He's trying to take the CS from this Morphling. Not getting denies just yet. She got a deny in the range creep, so fantastic job there by Mr. Downbad. League of Legends over here. And then top lane, we're seeing a pull to the heart camp. Pretty sure this Oracle player will be contesting that one soon. Bushwhack is there onto the Oracle, but he should be fine. Spear can be used. Never mind, God's Rebuke can be used. But Oracle will be fine regardless. What is going on with Malefic and AEZ?
So he did kind of the correct thing, where you pull the lane if you can't lane. However, he was very low on health when he did it, so the Snapfire was just kind of zoning him from the lane. And then unfortunately, he pulled 2 of the creeps under the tower, so the lane's just going to get shoved, and Sand King's just going to have a bad time when the creeps come back.
What's a good South cancel there by AEZ. Sudling player is being a bother.
Malefic could turn on him here, though.
The Battery Assault is there. Scatterblast is up. He will instead aggro the Ancients, but instead this means Malefic will still run this man down. He'll actually block the Ancients with the Sentry Ward, I believe. The First Blood is still drawn by Malefic, so after a very long trip by Hoodwink, she finally ends up dying there. Right now, Morphling's being gone on. He has the Morph, but instead he'll simply walk away. Not enough damage there for DP to kill that man. Meanwhile, top lane though, God's Rebuke, Spear are there. Pushback was used as well as the opening stun, and they got a kill on Oracle, so good play there by the side of Sheeeesh to get a... Not by Sheeeesh, it's the side of Rarecandy to get a kill there on this Oracle.
This is kind of interesting. Oh, never mind. They are the same XP. I was gonna say the DP was the level below, but she just needed 1 creep.
Yeah, DP is slightly ahead right now in terms of XP, but it's been mostly even in terms of both last hits and XP so far. We saw a Spear once again top lane on KU, but KU is completely fine. On the flip side, it was a Sandstorm bottom lane, but once again, everybody is completely fine. Pushback is there onto the Oracle once again. Spear is there, and another kill will be drawn onside of the Oracle, so good combinations going on there between the Hoodwink and the Mars. Now 2 kills secured. Meanwhile, middle lane though, Morph is quite low, but once again, will walk away from the Spear siphon of DP.
Surprised in the bot lane, Snapfire does not have Little Shredder. Kind of the whole meme of this hero right now. That spell's kind of broken.
Yeah, he went the Scatterblast level 1, but then went Cookie afterwards, so he just still has no points in that that little shredder. Bit odd, I'll agree with you on that one.
Chug needs to be a little bit careful though.
Yeah, Morph is not having a good time right now. Oh, unfortunately, Miss Cookie was happened bottom lane. So that will be now just spinning a cogs used. They are trying to kill Malefic. Scatterblast was used. Spin is being used. They're trying to go Clock, and Clock will barely go down there to the last tick of the spin. And now Teddy will be alone for the time being. I don't know what Mr. League of Legends did to force out the Morph from the lane, but he got him very low, forced the TP to the base out of him, which is very bad for the Morph lane.
Yeah, I think they were both going for the bottle, and obviously DP, because of Spirit Siphon, kind of just wins the trade. Obviously, the more health Morphling starts switching into, the more health DP gets. So, or does she get more health, or does it just deal more damage?
I think it's both, right? If it's draining, so it would give you the restoration was drained, right? right?
Yeah. I don't know. You think I would know this because I play with Mike. That's the only hero you can play.
Spin is used bottom lane
lane.
by Jug. He might just go down here. He's very low. Instead, though, he's fine. Malefic's also fine. And yeah, during that entire description, like 2 different team fights broke out, but in the very end, absolutely nobody died. Top lane, nobody died, and then bottom lane, nobody also died. Though bottom lane was a little bit closer to a death happening. Just a slight bit closer. So far, lanes have been relatively even. It's like both teams should be relatively okay with that, but once the lanes start wrapping up, who has the burden of execution on them? Who has to do something, you know?
I feel like it's Dio's job to abuse the fact that this DP is winning the mid lane. Well, relatively winning the mid lane. Obviously, going to be a lot stronger of a hero than Morphling at around 10 minutes. So, obviously right now she's doing the exact thing she needs to do. Just pop ult, hit towers.
Yeah, there now is a Hoodwink middle lane pushback is there on the DP, though DP might just be fine. She's using the siphons, but now she's taking Acorn Shot, DP taking a good bit of damage, and will simply haste and run away. And as that happened, we saw a good bit of action in both the side lanes. Spin was used by Jug bottom lane, nobody died, and then we saw earlier. Oh, never mind, middle lane, something is still happening. Sir Siphon is there on Skull Ice. Mr. Down Bad is still under the tower with that DP ulti. The Exo still being used, but once again, the story of the game so far, nobody dies. We saw as well, though, the interaction between the Hoodwink and the Mars. We had the Sheeeesh over here. They tried to pin it, the spear to it on the Void, but then Void was simply sent all the way under this tower, and it was 0 chance of killing Void at that point. It's an unfortunate interaction there. Alright, let's see here, looking over at last hits. Teddy is on top currently, though a lot of that is through that hard camp neutral creeps. Mars, DP, Jug, not far behind. Morphling, Void, slightly behind, but not a significant margin either way. Alright, we have runes starting to spawn now. Second one now is there for this Morpheus the Illusion rune. DP is running at her, but once again, he has Morphing Strength and is turning with that Adaptive Strike. Morph actually taking a good bit of damage, has to Morph Strength once again. Might even need to Fairy Fire. Skull Ice comes in, has Acorn Shot, has Bushwhack. Malefic, though, is there with that Battery Assault under the tower. And they will force out a TP from the Mars and a rotation from this Hoodwink. So maybe Malefic might go down here, but never mind. He's simply going to walk away, and nobody once again dies.
Oh no. Best tier 1 item picked up by Sand King for Sand King. Keen Optic.
That's a good tale for the Sand King. You get the cast range, you get that regen as well. That's the man who is leading the CS charts gets the exact item he needs. Fantastic tale for him. Mars is under tower right now, has a spear onto the Oracle. And the Bushwhack will secure the kill from Skull Ice. Now in comes Malefic, has Battery Assault, has the Cogs. Will they find a kill? They will simply get the knockback with the Cogs, so now Mars out of mana, though that is temporary as he has 2 mangoes and 10 stick charges.
That was an unfortunate Cogs. I think there's just so many creeps that when he Cogs them, the creeps push the Mars out of their Cogs.
Ooh, the Bushwhack was missed on KU. Spear was hit, but now in comes more heroes. In comes the Oracle. They have the slow there and the Fortune's End onto the Walrus Abuser, Mars.
Their Chronosphere up too.
Is still running, has Battery Assault once again, but they will need a little bit more damage to get this kill. Mars has the arena, but he's able to spear Malefic away and will be fine. They could not get that kill, and now mid lane, they have Omni Slash there onto Mr. Down Bad, and actually, that profit kill is somewhat significant there. They used 3 heroes to get it, but that's a very big kill to get, because looking over at net worth, DP was doing pretty alright. Now she's only number 4 in net worth thanks to that death, so that is a fantastic get there for the Jug.
Yeah, it seems like a weird play, like, why the hell is there a Jug mid, but if it works out, it's a good play.
Bottom lane Cookie is there, spear as well onto Mr. Pepe Teddy, and they'll even throw out the Mortimer's Kisses. Probably was not needed, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta make sure Sand King dies.
Yeah, I mean, top net worth, it's definitely worth it at that point.
It's not a very long cooldown ability either. It's only on cooldown for 90 more seconds, and you're probably not going to use it anyway, so you might as well make sure Mr. Pepe Teddy dies, and then you are good to go. I'm always scared whenever there's a Morphling in the game. I'm like, I see the health drop low, and I'm like, oh god, he's going to die, but then wait, he's literally alone, and has no risk of dying.
Yeah. Just the ability to sit there, morph all the way to Agi, and morph all the way back to strength, and all of a sudden you have a third of your health back.
It's always a little bit scary though as a caster, like, oh my god, the mid laner's dying, oh wait, he's alone. Nothing's happening again. Alright. I believe Dire saw that two-man smoke there from the Mars and the Hoodwink. They did ping out the area, so it looks like they will simply walk away. Yeah, Dire will even scan. They have an idea exactly where the smoke is going, though. It did not land on any heroes, so there is still a little bit of question over what is actually happening.
Looks like they're just trying to pressure this mid tower with the smoke. And Dire instead are going to dodge it and go bottom and finish off that tower.
Yeah, both these towers should die pretty easily. Radiant have 4 hitting, Dire have 3 in the area, only 1 hitting for now. Both towers, though, not long for life. Mid tower is dead. Bottom tower also will die as well, so both towers now dead. 1 tower apiece killed, and we are still even in terms of towers killed.
This Jug has been stacking his own Ancients. Supports are playing pretty active, so he has taken it upon himself to get himself more farm.
That's a good play there by the Jug. I mean, can't kill it just yet. Once he has that B Fury, should be a relatively easy stack clear for him. Speaking of the Jug, he is also joining his team top lane for the top tier 1 tower, though Sheeesh are TPing in to defend it. Teddy is here, has the blink, has the epi. He will go in looking for the Jug. He finds him with the burrow as well. Now in comes Malefic. There is no follow-up stun just yet. Clockhook is the only one, but once again, Sheesh taking a lot of damage. Malefic goes down. Teddy was ultied by the Oracle, is still alive, and they will get a kill on the Jug. Now they move with the Chronosphere onto the Snapfire. They also are moving on to the Hoodwink, though Hoodwink should be good to go. Never mind, stunned by Teddy. Good 2-man burrow there. Snapfire dead. Hoodwink will go down as well. 3 kills for the side of Sheesh, and just in one very brief team fight, they quadruple the number of kills they have.
Yeah, it started out looking a little bit rough for Radiant with the really nice blink reveal. And the turnaround with the double ultis dropped. And Malefic unable to get hook shot off on Jug before he was able to spin.
Burrow as well on the Mars. They're going to dive this tower for him. Fortune's End is there, and now Radiant RTB in. They have the Omni Slash from Jug on Teddy and down bad. Spin is used as well. Now in comes Bloodline. They want to get somebody. Wait for him. Is there on DP. DP will go down. Now they move the Scatter Blast to Teddy. Teddy will go down as well, and they will look for the Oracle. Is there a stun in time? There is not, but still has 2 fantastic kills for the side of the Radiant. They caught Sheesh diving too far, going for the Mars, and they certainly punished them for it.
I think the even bigger thing is Exorcism was popped, and they didn't get a tower out of it. So to be able to kill off that DP there and defend your tower is pretty huge.
This Jug's been playing very actively so far. He's been literally everywhere. More active than you see a Jug normally play, and it might have hurt his farm a little bit to do so, but it's certainly applying a lot of map pressure, really neutralizing the effect of his DP. I mean, he's died to 2 different Omni Slashes so far.
Yeah, well, he kind of needs to play a little bit more active. Obviously, Morphling's a bit more of a passive mid laner. Just wants to hit creeps. So Jug showing up with Omni Slash and helping out his other 3 teammates is probably very appreciated by them.
Alright, so we are still relatively even in terms of gold. Looks like it's about a 3 gold lead for the side of Rarecandy. Who needs to do something right now?
I think Dire just want to wait another minute until Exorcism is back up. Radiant probably want to group and take this top tower. The problem is there's a Sand King standing in front of it, and Mars probably wants his Blink Dagger before he does anything. And then you just have these 2 heroes, core heroes for the Radiant that just want to hit creeps, the Morphling and the Jug.
They tried to kill Teddy there, but that was a doomed attempt on that one. I mean, they used Murmur's Kisses, they used the Sharpshooter from the Hoodwink, but I don't think that kill is ever happening.
Maybe if there's no Fate's Edict there.
We're seeing Malefic run a Bloodline top lane. Or, I'm sorry, mid lane. Cogs are used by both of the heroes, so now Bloodline and Malefic were trapped in there. Malefic was the one, though, who died. So, a bit of a solo kill attempt was made there by the side of the Clockwork, and it did not pay off for him.
Yeah, solo killing a Morphling's hard to begin with, especially as a Clockwork. But on top of that, when he can just turn into you and use your spells against you, you kind of become a worthless hero in that trade.
Alright, here we go. They're looking for KU. They do the blink on Mars. They will blink in. Arena is used, though Mars is silenced. In comes Sharpshooter, breaks up the Void. Went for a Chrono Blast, cancelled by, I believe, the Snapfire. And now Void drops low. Void goes down. In comes Teddy. Has the FP. They're running at Mars. DP and Muon running at Snapfire. Mars should go down here. On the other side, Muon, they're still running at the Snapfire. Snapfire will die as well, so 2 for 1 so far. KU 4-2, and it seems pretty alright for both teams for now, though Sheeesh have the active Exo, and they will look for this bottom tier 2 tower. Ooh, good bushwhack. Oh, Teddy barely missing the burrow as well, so... Wait a minute, the Exo is over, and Radiant are arriving. Bloodline is here, actually has a haste rune as well, but... Dire simply will walk away. There will be nothing else at this point.
The Dire top tier 1 tower might fall here. That probably was a trade favoring them until that happened. The Exorcism obviously getting some damage on the tier 2 is really good, just based off where they took that fight. But losing their tier 1 top is pretty huge. While it is 17 minutes, it should definitely be dead.
Long range sharpshooter was there, and they also had a spear as well onto Malefic. Malefic, though, looks away to the creeps. Radiant committed the efforts of 3, and they will try Mortimer's Kisses to kill Malefic, but it is off the mark barely, and Malefic will simply walk away and even have a healing salve used on him, and he will be completely fine. We're seeing Jug, though, is very clearly accelerating. He killed that Hearts camp stack over here. He killed the Ancient camp stack over here. And he's even once again stacking the Ancients. So he's looking to accelerate his own game as much as possible right now.
Yeah, he has that Battle Fury, and once he has that Manta, you can probably join in on a few more fights, even without Omnislash.
Alright, Mars Arena was there. Spear missed on both. Teddy blinked away the Oracle. Had a false promise himself, and now in comes the Radiant. They will all 5-2 fight, and Dire certainly will not. Pushback is there, Malefic, and he might be the only casualty if they're lucky, and yeah, Oracle will TP away, so it is only the clock going down there. This Radiant Ward has paid off heavily so far. I mean, they've scouted heroes, I think, 3 times now. Problem is, they have only gotten 1 kill in all of that.
Yeah. Fortunate for Oracle, Mars missed the spear, and they don't have any follow-up after that.
Yeah, Radiant's have been somewhat struggling getting the teamfight combinations together this game so far. Perhaps they simply need a little bit more items to do so. Not entirely sure about that one yet.
I think they have the right idea. They're not aggressively looking for fights. They're kind of just farming up. And whenever the enemy comes to their side of the map, they're looking to punish it. I think they definitely need to do that with how greedy their 2 cores are. However, I think if they are going to make those plays, they definitely need to have one of those cores up on the front line, or at least close to it, because that is a lot of their damage.
Speaking of gold, though, Radiant certainly are in a more significant lead than earlier. They're up to around a 3k gold lead right now. They have been splitting up a good bit more, actually. They've had the Morph and the Jug pretty heavily farming, while Dire are slightly falling behind in an aspect. Is that a concern if you're Sheeesh, or are you simply okay and saying, alright, we'll simply win our fights later?
I think it's definitely a concern, but I think they're going the correct items to deal with that concern. Both Void and Death Prophet are approaching a BKB. and I feel like they're probably going to want to take a fight, take Roche, and just pressure towers with this. The only issue I'm seeing is if they catch Morphling in a Strength Morph inside of a Chronosphere, then the Chronosphere is wasted, and they're going to have to reset and take that fight again. So they need to be careful about how they do this.
Alright, Malefic has hook in as well as there's a two-man burrow onto the side of the Radiant. Mars Arena is there as a counterattack, but nobody is dead yet. Hoodwink was isolated, but is still fine. Teddy is low, has the ults. Now in comes Sharpshooter. Will hit on Teddy? No. It'll hit on Malefic. Now in comes the Exo. They're trying to run at the Radiant still. Radiant have the Morph's Kisses. Both Promise is there on Teddy. Now in comes the Morph. Tried to find Teddy, could not get him. Teddy simply blinked away, and now Morphling actually is isolated. He's being gone on. He was silenced, but he had the Manta to get it, purge it off. Now in comes Jug, in comes Morph. They have the Burrow onto the DP, and Spin is there, but there comes the two-man Chrono on the Morph and onto the Snapfire. Both of them, sorry, the Hoodwink. Both of them go down. Once again, in comes Burrow from Teddy onto the Mars. Mars had a BK, and it was A-OK there. And now, Dire are under this tower. They've already killed two, and they will look for this tier 2 tower as well as siege units.
Fortunate for them, Exorcism has run out the moment they go to push this tower.
Yeah, it's been a very long team fights. They have had no time after the fight is over to use that DP ulti for anything else of value, it apparently seems.
They did a very good job. They cut the Morphling pretty low on health. He is unable to Strength Morph. However, they're going to need to continue to do this because Morphling is now looking to pick up an E-Blade. And if you don't catch the Morphling inside the Chronosphere, and you only catch the Jug or the Mars, then you're just going to E-Blade one of them, and your Chronosphere is going to be useless at that point. Because you don't have any magic damage that you can really throw into there other than a Blink Epicenter.
Alright, Mars Arena and Bushwhack are there on Malefic. Malefic is dead once again, and Radiant did smoke on 3 to secure it. I'm surprised the Dire didn't see that. I thought their ward down here saw that smoke, but it might have been slightly outside of the ward range. Radiant, though, are now deep into the side of the Dire jungle. They have a ward placed over here by the outpost, and they will head up for this top tier 2 tower if they can get it. Chrono is still on cooldown for 57, so it should be pretty safely secured here.
Yeah, I think Radiant definitely know their game plan. They're fine with just getting a pick on 1. They know the Dire aren't going to be aggressive to them after that. Especially when all their big cooldowns are have been blown in the previous fight, and that's when they're choosing to play aggressive. You'll probably just see them head back, farm a bit. It actually appears that they do want to defend this tower. Bottom.
Yeah, Sheeesh are in the area, but the tower is still half HP, and Radiant have 4. Everyone but Morphling is there. Morphling has a TP, so if they want to go for it, it will be another 5-on-5 fight. Chrono is up in 10, and we are seeing key defensive items now for both teams. There is now a BKB on DP and on Void. Skull Ice is searching on the side for something. So he now runs into Teddy. Burrow is there onto Skull Ice. In comes Oracle as on Fortune's End. In comes Epicenter, and down goes the Hoodwink. Dire may now look for this bot T2 tower. It is about 2/5 HP right now, and Radiant are in the area to defend, though, if they want to. Mars has Blink, Spear, and Arena. Mortar's Kisses is up on the Snapfire as well. Dire actually say, you know what, Glyph is there, our wave is not here just yet. We will back.
Radiant need to be a little bit careful about taking this fight, though. There are BKBs up on the Void and the DP, so it's going to be very hard to blow them up, especially with an Oracle sitting behind them.
Yeah, I mean, ideally they can just find Oracle plus one of those cores, but that's just going to be... Look at where Oracle is in the fight. He's so far back here, it's going to be very hard to find him.
Yeah, I think what they need to do is spear him back. Yeah,
alright, Spear is there on Void, but now in comes Oracle. Never mind, not even needed. Burrow is there onto Mars. Mars has the Arena there onto. Simply will walk away, though the tier 2 tower is dead. KU ran in, so did Malefic. Has the hook onto Mr. Bloodline. Cogs was used as well, actually hit twice there on the Morph, but ultimately only a tier 2 tower is lost, and Dire now must TP back to mend their lanes. Jug pushed in the mid lane somewhat hard.
Yeah, I think that's almost ideal for the Radiant. Force out the Exorcism and make sure they're not going to press anything extra while you have one of your cores farming. They had the Jug sitting down there defending while the Morphling was farming for a bit, and then they almost just like swapped places.
Yeah, it's working
it's
out very well for them.
Yeah, it's very hard to fight into this double BKB. Yeah, I see Morphling going for a BKB.
Right, Yules is there, onto the Oracle. Morphlings are on the way as well, so Oracle very dead right now, and Radiant might look for more, but more appears not to be possible. So they will instead head into the Roshan pit, perhaps. Yep, there they go. Jug is headed in, though Dire with that Rocket Flare are aware of it. They are aware there are at least 2 heroes in this Roshan pit area.
They have vision on the Morphling too.
Do they want to... Yeah, they see Morphling right now. They actually might just go right here, right now, knowing there can only be 4 in the area. They are now running DP on the way, Sand King on the way, Void has Chrono as well. Now in comes Epi, in comes Burrow, they're on 1, but Mars still fine. In comes Void, has Chrono, Pump Fakes, does not use it. Sharpshooter was there on Teddy, but Teddy is still completely fine as well. So still, nobody dead, nobody even close to dead, and a lot of abilities were thrown out, and Roshan is about half HP. Now Epic combo there on Oracle, Oracle dead, huge get there for the side of the Radiance, but can they not finish Roshan? They will instead have a Burrow there on Hoodwink, so once again, another 1-for-1 support trade happening. Radiance, they think about going back into the Roshan pit, ultimately say, you know what, we're good.
Yeah, I don't think they can do this unless Clockwork's dead. Otherwise, the Dire are just going to constantly know what HP this Roche is up at.
Dire are picking the Roshan pit out, but as you mentioned, Radiant did leave it. Now Roshan is rapidly healing up. So we are simply waiting on Puros to respawn and stuff to happen again. We have, once again, Morph in the jungle, pushing. Dire are aware of that, but we appear to be resuming our long session of agriculture. Seems to be the story for Game 1 tonight. You beat me to it. I was going to tell Balljax it was Game 1, but you beat me to it, actually.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
No comment. No comments. We do have Yules, though, onto this Oracle. Once again, Ela combo is there. Fate's Edict was used by Oracle, but it will only delay the inevitable. There is no escape. Teddy... Actually, False Promise is there, so Oracle will be alive for, once again, even longer. But now in comes Jug. In comes Hoodwink. Oracle probably took 10,000 damage there. Apparently, did not matter. Now we have Burrow there onto this Mars. Epi is used as well, but now in comes Omni/. Mars is very low. In comes Morph, in comes Chrono there onto 2. They're trying to kill this Jug, but Malefic and Mr. Downbat are in that Chrono, but Jug did go down. But so did KU, and so did Morphling, actually. This fight is actually chaotic right now. Now, down goes Malefic. They will head over to this Snapfire. Snapfire forced out the way. Now, in comes Teddy. They're trying to find the Hoodwink. Hoodwink goes down. And meanwhile, Oracle finally goes down once again. It was a dieback now on this Oracle. Yules is there on the DP, and Radiant and Dire both have 2. They both appear to be headed towards the Radiant side of the map. Now, Hoodwink is being run at. Siphon is there, but with the Bushwhack and the Miss Burrow, Hoodwink should be fine. And Mars is actually spotted under this ward, but he is a very hard target, it appears. But Teddy appears not to care. Never mind, he actually cares. Once again, Ingles, Mars on DP, but that kill is not happening. Burrow is there on Mars. So is that, yeah, oh, Bushwhack actually missed there on the Sand King somehow. Sharpshooter was committed, though, and... Alright, we had an actual fight!
Yeah, the Morphling got a bit lucky. The power cogs shoved him and made him dodge Chrono because he was about to walk into it. And then he just kind of freely ripped into this faceless void while he killed Jug. But the problem was he just didn't morph strength and just kind of died to DP ulti.
This has been a bit of a wild game so far. Alright, once again, we're back to the Roshan pit. Dire, they see Hoodwink. Hoodwink, well, is no longer with us at this point. Roshan, though, is very low. Hoodwink will buy back. Margarina is used. Can they get the Roshan? The answer is hell yes. It goes to the Morphling, and now they will attempt to retreat. They did a buyback on the Hoodwink. but they appear to be fine with heading over to their tri-camp and then doing more farming.
Yeah, it was a good recognition by Radiant to realize, hey, they have no ultimates. We can kind of just take Roche.
Yeah, the Chrono is still on cooldown for 24 more seconds as of currently, so it's proving to be a pretty big limiting factor for the side of the Dire in terms of their team fighting is, hey, we don't want to fight. Chrono is on cooldown. Radiant's cooldown's much shorter. I mean, look at Mars Arena, only 60 seconds. Look at those kisses on the Snapfire, only 110 seconds. Sharpshooter's like a 30-second cooldown as well, so yeah, 45 seconds there. So it's the cooldowns are much less a limiting factor for the Radiant. I mean, yes, Omni Slash is a pretty long cooldown, but they don't need it for the fight as much as Dire need that Chrono. Alright, both teams once again are running away from each other. They're headed into each other's jungles. Malefic once again grabbed the enemy side outpost, and Radiant will, I am sure, grab the Dire side outpost as well very soon. Not sure if we will see a significant push with the Aegis just yet. Perhaps it'll be this mid-tier 2 tower, though the waves are not in a good spot for that mid-T2 to go down. There actually is a wave high ground. That's a very ballsy high ground to go for. Alright, they're going for us. They are in. Teddy has Sandstorm, but Radiant is leave. Meanwhile, actually, Malefic, the Clockwork, is hitting high ground with the siege units. It actually took more damage than the entire side T3, and Malefic will try to get away here, but he was used by Mars. Now in comes Morphling, in comes Spear, in comes the E-Blade combo if he wants to use it, and he sure as hell will. Malefic was on a space creation mission, and I suppose space was curated, but he also has made a space at the morgue for his own body.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit too long there. I think that was a hook shot and TP out moment.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps he thought he had slightly more time, but the Mars had a very fast Yules there, and I think he saw the TP of the Morphling and thought the Morphling was the first one going, but instead it was the Mars was like over here, right? This area of the fight.
Yeah, Mars with the new TP to tower range, you can TP so far into the trees.
At that point, he just didn't see the Mars and got a little bit too greedy. Atos is there onto Mr. League of Legends. Bushwhack is there as well. Now in comes Sharpshooter, but there's quite literally zero follow-up anyways. Fate's Edict was used. Was not actually needed, though the tier 2 tower is a casualty. Now in comes Mars, has the arena, might go to use it. Does not. As that happens, KU push the tier 1 tower top lane and killed it. It actually is still pushing the tier 2 top. He will slowly get that, though Radiant, with a minute 30 remaining on that Aegis of the Immortal, they are going to attempt 2 high ground. Morph is the one with the Aegis, is the one hitting. Atos E-Blade combo are there on Teddy, but Teddy's still 2/3 HP. Now in comes Mars Arena, is there on 3, the hookshot is there on the Morphling. Morphling is quite low. He is still fighting, is trying to kill Malefic. Omni Slash now is there, down goes Oracle. There's Yules there by DP. DP is very low, spin now there. Teddy tried to help, but he was stunned there. Now Morphling, very low, but still has that Aegis. Spear is there on DP, now in comes Chrono. It's there on 3. Down goes Hoodwink, in comes Epi, in comes Burrow. Burrow though was missed. Void has BKB. Down goes Aegis. They move to Mars. Mars, very low. Mars will go down. Now turn back over to Morphling. Morphling has the waveform to the right. He BKBs. Does he TP? He has no TP. He might just get kited around here. EXO is still up for a little bit longer. In comes Teddy. In comes KU. In comes Malefic even. Burrow is there on Morph. Morphling will go down twice in this fight now, and absolutely fantastic for the side of Sheeeesh. Their high ground was under severe duress, but it is still intact.
Yeah, I think they just had conflicting opinions on what they wanted to do. It seemed Morphling and Jug just kind of wanted to hit the tower, and Mars just went all in, hit a 2-man spear, and there was no follow-up, and Dire just turned around and dropped all their ultis and won the fight.
That is the effect there of having a well-seasoned team like the side of Sheeeesh versus a pretty much recent sample team. Now Burrow is there onto the Snapfire. Snapfire is quite low. He's being run down by Teddy and KU. Healing Word is there from Jug, but Jug is still alive.
And that's a dive back.
Yeah, there actually is a tieback on the Hoodwink. We'll be up for 70 seconds. Or not Hoodwink, for the Snapfire. Snapfire dead for 70 seconds. Now they head to the tier 2 middle. Siege units are hitting. Faceless Void is hitting. T2 is dead. And EXO is up in just 5 seconds. The BKBs are up for the Dire as well. This could be high ground time. Morph Mars will be up soon, but Hoodwink, sorry, fucking Snapfire, not so. Burrow is there. Onto the actual Hoodwink now. In comes Epi, in comes Hookshot. Down goes Hoodwink. Now Morph TP's in, has BKB, might need to use it actually. He's in the Cogs, he's fighting, but he's actually low HP. He's feared, he's dropping low, and Cogs kill him! Morph dead! No buyback! Burrow there! Onto Silence as well! Down goes Mars, down goes Jug, they all have no buyback! And this game might just be over. Dire, the 4-man tip on Morphling in the high ground is collapsing. What the hell just happened?
That Spirit Siphon Ag Shard just won them the game, I think. I was sitting there wondered how the hell did Morphling just get feared? Apparently they changed DP's Shard and I never realized it.
That's hilarious. We are seeing a Mortimer's Kisses bottom to try to defend, but Malefic, the one here who was taking significant damage, was Fate's Edicted by the Oracle and will be fine. There will be 2 full sets of barracks for the side of Sheeesh. They will get a little bit of damage, perhaps in the tier 4s. Or maybe on the Moonballs only. Never mind, they are hitting the tier 4s. Acorn Shot is there, Pushback is there on KU as well. They're trying to delay. Core heroes are dead for anywhere from 12 to 22 more seconds. T4, never mind, they will walk away. They will get their damage and they'll say, you know what? We got what we can without being punished. We will even smoke away. They will not chase us. We will simply run away and... well, nobody was lost on the retreat. And for Radiance, it's an absolute disaster.
Yeah, I think that was the classic pub move of let's go one by one into this fight and just everyone die.
That last team fight was just... it's literally all your time in this game wasted from one very, very rough team fight. Because the game was not looking too bad before it, but now it's a very pronounced downward trend on the net worth graph. It's a very pronounced trend on the win probability chart. There's one rough fight here at the high ground on the Dire side, and one rough fight on the high ground at the Radiant side, and this game is very difficult.
I went from, what, a 3k net worth lead for Radiant to 16k the other way in a couple of minutes.
Alright, Smoke is there. They will find KU. The Intel skill. Spear, though, was missed. BKB, pop. Omnislash used. Chrono is there. They move to the Hoodwink. Hoodwink goes down, and now KU is still fine. He simply walks away. In comes Morph. In comes Eblade Column, but it's not enough damage. They're chasing. In comes Malefic. Has Hookshot. Burrow from Teddy. On 2. It's a disaster. Mara dropping low. Epi is there. Down goes Snapfire. And they will move to Morphling. He's BKB, but he's only half HP. He'll go in. He wants to KU, but he cannot get this fight. He once again has to wait for him, but he's being chased down. Teddy is there. He has the Manta, but Burrow, not even needed. Down goes Morphling once again, and this game is rapidly collapsing. 3 more dead. KU survived. 4 tips on Morphling, and sheesh. They appear to have this one in the bag as it currently stands.
Yeah, they lack the damage to kill the 4k HP Faceless Void.
He's quite tanky. Tankier than you normally see Voids be. Mr. Walrus Abuser actually has a Wind Waker, so he gets away from the... he gets away for now, but actually in comes Malefic with that hook shot, and well... he tried. He tried to survive, ultimately did not survive, and actually made some space for his team to respawn. He does have buyback on the Mars, so perhaps they will attempt to fight as 5 once they have this this Morphling again. Though that will not be for 25 more seconds. KU, BKB, it's off cooldown. So is the one on Mr. League of Legends. EXO is once again there. Tower already dead, and Mars Spear tries to delay, but the Ranger Axe are being hit, the Miller Axe are being hit, Ranger Axe are now dead, and we are very close to Mega Creeps for Game 1 for the side of the Dire. Yep, that is full on Megas. Sharpshooter is there, but it was missed, and if it was hit, it would not have mattered anyways, and they're not even attempting to fight. They will get a clean retreat. They will force Radiant to come to them, and Radiant might be a little bit sad right now. Did Radiant have a smoke early? Radiant have a smoke on Hoodwink, so there is possibly a smoke on 5 into the Roshan pit. Yep, it is there.
They smoke under a
ward.
ward.
They know. Dire definitely know. Oracle might just tank this gank here with that Aeon Disc.
I feel like that's Malefic's job.
There on 4, but in comes the Burrow. Malefic missed the hook. In comes Kisses. Down goes Mars. Dire still alive. Oracle now dead. Malefic very low. Might just die. Oh, he's another hook shot away to the Morphling. Batter Assault is there. BKB is there. Malefic very low. Still alive. Morphling low HP. Has way for him. Needs to run. Jug is siphoned as well. Also needs to run. Cookie is there. Jug still alive, but he's feared. They're trying to run. But there's a Burrow there onto the side of the Snapfire. Snapfire is very low. He's being chased down by Teddy. Apparently teammates not needed. Burrow once again there. Right now his team finally arrives. And there's 2 heroes dead. That is the Mars and the Snapfire. Both have no buyback. And Dire will once again, with the Aegis, try to end the game. Burrow is there on Hoodwink. Silence there, on 2, in comes Atos, in comes Faceless Void, has Chronosphere there on the Jug. Morphling is isolated on the rest of the fight, trying to get rid of the Clockwork or the Oracle, could kill neither. Jug now dead, and yeah, Morphling dead. Dire, they're using all chat lines, they know they have won, and it's a full 5-man wipe. False Promise even used on top to League of Legends, and our game here is over.
Yeah.
Well, now what?
I think that entire game was decided in 2 team fights. And nothing else mattered.
Yeah. You're probably right, actually. Because this is a pretty incredibly even game, even though it was a slight lead for the Radiant for, well, basically all of it. And then suddenly it just wasn't. They make a bad fight at the Dire High Grounds, they lose it, they were not on the same page, and then suddenly at the Dire High Grounds, they have the fear on the Spirit Siphon, it kills Morphling, and suddenly the game's over.
Are you looking at the Team XP and net worth graph?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's about 4 minutes, and the game's just over.
This patch depresses me. It truly does.
Who would you give MVP to that game, Badger?
Oh god, who would I give it to? Probably the Death Prophets. That would be my choice, but honestly, it's very arguable. You could probably give it to mostly anyone on the side of the Dire. What's your choice?
I'm probably gonna have to go with Peppy Teddy. Straight off from his, he had a really good laning phase, which is pretty hard to do on Sand King #1. Then he had a really good blink reveal top right after that, and he just seemed to be getting great stuns, great epicenters, which I didn't think was possible because that is the worst ultimate in all of Dota 2.
You need to stop talking to Snow.
Hey, Sand King's my most played hero too. But yeah, I think that's probably just the best Sand King performance in Lads in the past 2 seasons at least. He just played a really good game.
Wow. Bold claim.
Snow's going to be yelling at me because I said that, but it's okay. He hasn't picked Sand King.
True,
so
actually.
He has nothing to talk about. He has no backup to his argument.
I feel like this game 1 may have been Rarecandy's game to win. And they definitely are the disfavored team in this series. So game 2 might turn difficult. They actually chose second pick rather than first pick. So my question is, what cheese hero do they have planned right now?
Well, they tried a last pick Morphling and it didn't work, so I don't know.
Because usually teams have been preferring the first pick. I know you think first pick better. I know I talked to Bulljacks. He thinks first pick is better. A lot of people think first pick is just better this patch. Rarecandy grabbed second pick instead.
You get 3 counter picks, and you get to protect your 8 pick with bans, and you get to protect your 18 pick with bans. So, like, unless your last hero is going to solve all of your problems, or you have, like, a really good 6-7 combo that you like to pick together, then I don't see the point of it. Like, if you're, like, a team that just loves, like, I don't know, Willow Mars, or I guess in this case they picked Snapfire Mars. Just stuff like that, right? Like Lich Grim. Oh, that's not great right now. But like something along those lines where you pick like a really strong duo. But even at that, I just feel like first pick's better.
Alright, we are headed into game number 2. Is it the lobby tagged properly in terms of game 1 win? No, it is not. Of course it's not. It's okay. Let's go into OBS. Let's go into... Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, let's go put on a... okay, so Sheeeesh inside the Radiant, so I'll have to do... okay. Okay, cool. 1-0 Sheeesh. You know what still bothers me?
What?
That they switched the drafting thing. They put Radiant on top and Dire on bottom. I don't see why Radiant can't be on the bottom and Dire can't be on the top.
Was it the other way around before?
100%. 100% dude.
I don't know. I never see it from this screen.
100%. It used to be Radiant on bottom, Dire on top. And it was better that way, by the way. It was better that way. I refuse to hear otherwise. Because, in the actual Dota game, Dire's on top, Radiant's on bottom. Right?
You're just racist, Badger.
What do you mean?
You're racist against the Radiant. You're a Dire player, I knew it.
Okay, first off, you know I prefer Radiant. You know I prefer Radiant. I'm a Radiant guy. But I think it makes sense about Radiant on bottom, because they play on the actual bottom of the map. And you put Dire on top, because Dire's on top of the map. And traditionally, it used to be Radiant on the bottom of the screen and Dire on the top of the screen. I don't know why I changed it. It still bothers me. That has never stopped bothering me in my entire life.
Oh, Skale's team actually has first pick. I guess the lobby making is just bugged. But they said they'll take it anyways.
Okay. So they have ended up with the better pick after all, by accident.
Badger, I have a theory.
What's your theory?
So you're washed, right? So you lose more games than you win. So in theory, you like Radiant better because you actually don't like Radiant and you just like stepping on Radiant more. So you're on your side of the map more, so you get to stomp on them and watch them lose.
What do you mean by I lose more games? What time frame?
This is some tinfoil hat moment right here.
I decided to look it up. So yeah, in the last 12 months, I have a 55.6% win rate. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't believe you.
I did. Look it up. Want me to link it?
No.
I linked it. You can see it right now.
Fake news.
Open your Dota Puff. I opened your private message, sir.
No. It's lying.
You want me to go to Open Dota instead? Want me to do it on Open Dota?
No, that is also lying.
That is despite
government. The government is covering it up.
That is despite me being on a 5-game losing streak actively and having lost 6 of my last 7. I'm still 55.6% over the last 12 months. We have actual stuff to discuss finally. We have a Broodmother and a banned by the side of Sheeeesh, and a Earth Spirit and Medusa banned by the side of Rarecandy. Rarecandy first picked the Centaur. Sheeeesh respond with a Death Prophet and an Oracle. some relatively normal stuff here. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Sheeesh get literally 2 of the heroes I got last game, and Rarecandy get 1 of the premier heroes of the batch, so nothing too crazy. And they grab Lion. Seems like we've been seeing an uptick in Lion picks recently. What's the idea behind that?
I think, regardless of whether the hero is good or not, it's just good in this current patch. I feel like 4 players just need to be apes. Their job is to stun as many enemies as possible, or just go in and die. I don't really see the use of ranged pause 4s anymore, because with the map changes of the pole camp, if you're a ranged pause 4, chances are you're not out trading the 5. So you kind of just are unable to pull or stop pulls. So you just need to be some big meathead. However, Lion's perfectly okay with this as well, because he can just stun the 5 and pull the camp. And the 5 can't do anything about it unless they're like Juggernaut and have a BKB built in. But why, as a 5, would you be playing Juggernaut?
That's a good question, actually. That's a very good. Why don't people play 5 Jug more often?
No, like you see at the end of the game, and your carry Jug just has 10 in supporting because he has like 20k heal. Just play Juggernaut.
You know the playstyle's Pentagon. That is the ultimate of Dota analysis right there. You know.
And imagine if Juggernaut's passive was Dawnbreaker's passive, and you Omni Slashed people, and it just healed your teammates.
Oh my lord! I just took my glasses off. Scott, I'm literally in the middle of facepalm right now.
This is ability draft tech right here. I've just won everybody's ability draft games for them.
Just do not mention the ability draft around me. Those are forbidden words in my presence. Alright, let's see here. We got bans. They're coming out. Both teams are in their second phase of bans as it currently speaks. Radiant ban out 2 mids, the Invoker and the Storm Spirit. Dire ban out the Void, the Sand King, and the Mars. So we'll be seeing some different heroes. Void, Sand King, Mars. All in last game, so all will be gone this game. I'm not sure what made it through the ban phase. That was not there last game, but there are certainly more options to us now. Maybe Rarecandy saw Sheeesh literally doing the exact same draft as last game and said, you know what? Let's just ban 2 of their heroes.
Yeah, same bans as well as their same draft. But I have a very important question, Badger.
Go for it.
Do you have the Calphite Queen head yet?
Oh my lord. There's another question. Another thing you're not allowed to mention in my presence is Calphite Queen and the KQ head. Do not mention that in my presence.
You know, RuneScape's a game of inches. Maybe you just need to kill 1 more.
Dear lord. Alright, we also have Jug being banned, so that's another hero that was in the game last game. We will not be seeing in this game. Not sure what we're going to get just yet. Not sure if they're going to put the Malefic support DP this game, or if they're going to go back to the mid DP, but Sheeesh could just grab their offlaner right now if they want to. They could grab another support if that's what they want to do, but I'd imagine it's probably an offlaner pick here,
right? Typically that's what you see at 15, but it might be a 4 mid flex as well.
The thing is, how many other 4 mid flex heroes are left, you know? Like Windrunner, Hoodwink,
Void Spirit.
Void Spirit. Void Spirit's not that good before, that was a problem.
I didn't say any of these heroes that we've just listed are good. I'm just saying they're flexes.
That's another tier down. That's an entire another tier down.
They go for the clockwork again.
Alright, so they've given away what they're doing, but you know what? They've noticed that the heroes from last game are being banned very rapidly, so it's a it's a rapidly going commodity, apparently, the heroes from last game.
I mean, this is one of the heroes that does exactly what you want on 4. They stun a bunch of people, they go in, they soak a bunch of spells, and they die. They're a melee hero that can pull camps or stop the enemy from pulling. That's all you need. because for some reason the laning phase has devolved into two 1v1s and not a 2v2.
When's the next balance patch?
Yeah, bring back the tri-lanes, please.
I just
I'll,
want.
I'll make Snow go play support, and I'll be an offlaner again.
Yeah, I'm like 100% sure tri-lanes will never be back, no matter what happens. I think conceptually, it's like you see in sports, right? You see in the past, people just held on to like this old idea. It's like, all right, in football, you run the ball constantly, you don't pass the ball. In basketball, shoot 2-pointers, not 3-pointers. But then as time evolves, like people get like analytics and they get understanding of the game, and it's like, oh, what we did in the past just doesn't work. I think if we went back just for fun to like 6.78, which was like the literal peak of tri-lane meta, with the understanding of Dota we have in 2021, I think people would still run dual lanes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
With the recent map changes, is the Nature's Prophet cliff farming back?
There's no way, right?
It's gotta be.
Hey, that's a hero not being in lane though if you do that. There's no way that's good, right?
Next team I'm playing better ban Nature's Prophet.
I think your team better ban Nature's Prophet. I think your team better ban Nature's Prophet.
Did you know how many games of Nature's Prophet I played as a cliff farmer?
Too
and
many?
You wonder why my Nature's Prophet has a negative win rate?
I'm sure it's too many.
It's at least 30, if not more.
Dear God, you're a degenerate. Alright, we have Tusk picked as well, so you were mentioning ad nauseum, melee fours. Well, we have melee forward, it's Tusk, which means Lion will be the 5, so should be interesting to see how the Lion 5 does in this clock lane.
The only difference between Tusk and Clock is Tusk can dodge spells, and he can also just one-punch your carry at 40 minutes into the game.
Yeah. Okay. This might be a rough lane for the Tusk now, leaning into a Clock and into a Tide, but Dire, they snap pick the elite mid laner, Shadow Fiends. Is
this Tusk leaning into the Clock Tide? Or is he leaning into an Oracle 24 pick?
Oh, I'm sorry. The Lion is leaning into the Clock and the Tide.
I feel like the Lion doesn't care about that.
Yeah,
suck all their mana.
I don't know why, for some reason, I thought the Tusk was leaning into that. I just mixed up lanes for some reason. My brain apparently is not functioning.
Zeox, you take that back. Tri-lanes are amazing if you're the one offlaner in them.
The thing is, I just don't think they're ever coming back, though. I don't think they ever come back.
A man can dream.
Because, I mean, teams are just too good at zoning out a single hero now. You know, like, you see, if you leave heroes in a 2v1, the 1 is generally getting zoned out, like, 90% of the time by a good
Not
players,
if I
right?
pick Treant.
But,
I'm gonna pick Treant, hide in the trees.
most of the time, right? There's exceptions if you pick some weird heroes, right?
That's not a weird hero.
But
And one TI.
as a 3, did it win TI?
Yes. Seb played at 3.
Didn't he play Centaur? Didn't he play Centaur that game?
Well, I don't mean the winning game. I mean, in general, in the tournament, he played offlane Treant and it won. They beat PSG LGD with it.
I completely forgot that game.
It's an offlane hero. You cannot change my mind.
Yeah, but if you had just 3 heroes, you'd just zone heroes out again, like, mercilessly. It would be a slaughter.
Remember when it was just Treant's base ability and not a shard where you could just leave the trees, punch someone, and would bash them?
Oh, that was awful. That was so
That was
stupid.
amazing.
That-
You just see like this fucking level 1 Treant, your carry's just trying to hit some creeps, and he just comes out and dunks them in the face and just goes back into the tree.
See, from this little, like, minute argument we're having, you can tell exactly who played the tree and who played against the tree. You can tell exactly which side of the tree divide we lived on back then.
I played as it and against it.
I think I exclusively played against it, because I don't play tree.
You're a carry player. What a noob.
Even when I play support, I don't play Treant Protector, you know? It's not a hero I want to play.
Imagine needing to hit creeps to win a game. Can't be me.
Alright, we have a Bristle carry, so I guess Malefic and Teddy will be buying sticks at minute 0, perhaps, just to or even before that, to laying into this 1 or 5, please, Bristle.
Well, I can tell you this, Lion's gonna have a lot rougher of a time. Before, he could have just got 2 points in E and drained all their mana, but now the Bristleback's just gonna be feeding the mana, so he can no longer do that.
That's true.
Or is this a big brain play where he's just gonna throw stun off cooldown, and then Bristleback gives them mana so that he can keep draining their mana and keep throwing stuns?
That could work. I feel like Radiant would just start like throwing out battery assaults and gushes constantly, though, if he did that. Because they too would have constant mana.
True.
Alright, we got the KU Phantom Assassin, so that'll be interesting.
It's actually a very good game for PA. She can buy her shard and break the Bristleback.
Break the Centaur as well. It's a very good shard game for PA.
Yeah.
Looks like a lot of this game is, though, on KU to make good decisions in the mid and the late game. Because Radiant, they're going to have to play some very defensively oriented Dota at like minute 25, right? Because Rarecandy are going to just run at you, correct?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're just going to pick up 2 Vanguards and just run at towers. There's not a lot of magic damage coming out to stop them. They have, they do have the DP to just sit there and drain their health slowly over time, but that's about all they have to deal damage. And they're also very ult-reliant in this game as well, obviously relying on Ravage and Exorcism again.
Yeah, seems to be the way to do things.
The Dire only... They only have really one important ult cooldown.
Requiem, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say Centaur ulti.
Oh.
It depends on the build he goes on Itachi, on whether or not his Requiem is gonna matter in these fights or not.
I'd imagine Itachi goes for a build that allows him to be active with his team early. I don't think Itachi wants to just go right-click into AFK farm this game. I don't think you want to be AFK farming into this Radiant side of this game. Because if you allow PA to get, like... I mean, a lot of times you see PA, right? There's like a timing point where it's... This is the exact point where PA is going to win the Dota game. In this game, it feels like B-Fury, Deso, BKB, Agshard, right?
I'd assume so, but she probably wants to say Tanic, because if she ever gets stunned, she could very easily get stunned again and die. With the Lion, Tusk, and Shadow Fiend applying a lot of burst damage.
I did not ask it earlier, but which of these 2 drafts do you prefer here?
I'm gonna go with Radiant's draft again. Well, not again, but they won the first game. I think Dire's gonna start running at them once they hit this kind of timing that they need. And I feel like they're gonna have problems dealing with this DP and problems dealing with this Tidehunter just standing in front of their tower.
Alright then, if you are just joining us, welcome to game number 2 of Rarecandy taking on Sheeesh. If you're seeing the all chat, they are correct to bring it up. Sheeesh won game number 1, not Rarecandy, so we are in, that's why I put it on my OBS, because we are in lads and people do not ticket games correctly and do not tag games correctly. I am Badger, I am, as per usual, joined by Artorius, and we are 20 seconds away from the horn of this game number 2. God damn it.
Amogus.
We are seeing Malefic and Eddie are on top of each other. Battery Assault is there on Bristle. Gush is there as well. The Earth Spike is there, used onto the DP, so DP did not get the rune there. Dire actually get 3 runes, so good start to the game for them. And Eddie had to tank a good bit of damage, but made a bit of space for his team to get 3 runes, so no harm, no foul for him, I do believe. Alright, it is side lane action time. Hopefully a little more action than last game. That would be the goal. Let's see here. Yep, Malefic and Teddy both have sticks already. No surprise there on that one. Wouldn't be shocked if Skull Ice and Walrus also buy sticks soon very well. Skull Ice took a good bit of damage bot lane to the dagger in the tower, so he has to use a lot of tangles there.
There's already a stick coming out on Walrus Abuser's career.
Yeah, both of their couriers have sticks in the way, so that's a lot of very early sticks going on in this Dota game. That's the difference, though, is Dire recognized, hey, we need to get these sticks, but when it's too late. When Radiant just straight up just bought the sticks at the start of the game, you know? So you come and immediately buy the stick on the tide and the clock versus, hey, now we're just sending out the sticks now at minute 1. Little timings, you know? Once again, Skull Ice will take a good bit of damage bottom lane. Hoof Stomp was pump faked, ultimately was not needed, and everybody is once again going to be okay in the bottom lane. Shadow Fiend currently is farming pretty well. He is 12-0 versus DP's 9-0. And bottom lane, they are running at Centaur. Centaur might just die here. Dagger is there. Blink is in from KU. And first blood will be drawn by Phantom Assassin on Centaur Warrunner. Skull Ice went to secure the water runes, I believe, and that decision certainly cost him his Centaur's life. Or perhaps you could argue Centaur staying too far forward cost him his life as well, but yeah.
All he did is steal the water rune from Shadow Fiend.
That's not very ideal, actually. Top lane, Malefic, though, had Battery Assault and Cogs on AEZ, but Eddie was in the area, and Malefic is now dead. That is 1 kill apiece for both teams now. That's a sad tale for Shadow Fiends. I don't know what's going on right now. Speaking of what's not going on right now, Oracle. He is no longer alive. He was run down by the Tusk and by the Centaur. Shards were hits. Hoof Stomp was used. Tag Team was used. Oracle is dead.
I guess Tusk, very good Oracle counter. Tag Team is not dispellable.
Yeah. One of the few abilities that are not dispellable. Itachi, though, took a lot of damage from League of Legends. Spear Siphon was used. I believe Crypt Swarm was used as well at some point in that engagement. And Shadow Fiend now has no regen, though he will have 2 bottle charges from that bounty rune now.
Remember when you could send your bottle back on your courier, on the courier, but there was only 1 courier, and you just never got the courier as a side laner?
That was awful for everyone involved.
Yeah.
It was awful to play against Bottle Crow. It was awful to be in a game with Bottle Crow.
What? Quill Spray can hit couriers?
Apparently can. That's what I've learned today as well, actually. We're seeing Hextail on Malefic. In comes Eddie, has the goo. They're trying to kill Clockwork, though. Eddie is actually only half HP, though now... Yeah, everybody now runs back to the lanes. There will be no kills, though bottom lane... Never mind, there were no kills there either, so... We'll simply be seeing a bit of pulling going on from the Oracle, and Dire will... Never mind! We're seeing a Lion being gone on top lane, but he has a stick. He has a salve. He's also fine. A lot of people are very fine today. Nobody's dying.
Unfortunately.
Alright, Siphon is there on Itachi. Itachi had 2 raises, but now has to run away now. In comes the Tusk onto the DP. Itachi has a long range raise, will hit it. DP is quite low, but now in comes Clock, has the Battery Assault, has the Cogs. As that happens, Teddy's being run out top lane. The double raise is there on Malefic. Malefic goes down back over to top lane. Teddy's being run down by Lion and by Bristle. There's 3 goose stacks on Teddy, but they could not kill him. Meanwhile, bottom lane, they're now running at Centaur. KU's on the way, has Dagger, has Blink. He blinks in. Hoof Stomp is not there actually here to use it on the creep, so he will go down there on Centaur, I'm assuming, once Dagger is available. No, he just salve, actually. Will he dive the tower? He will dive the tower, but now in comes Shards, in comes Snowball. They're running at KU. He's attacking tower. Hoof Stomp is there. Double edge. Never mind. Oracle kills Walrus Abuser. Now KU blinks away. Skull Ice is on the way. They have the salve there on KU. Now turn to Tusk. They're hitting. They're running. Okay, you know, it's... Caster's Curse comes in handy. We mentioned now nobody's dying, and now everywhere people are dying.
That was a very good shard block.
That was fantastic. But it was a good job by Oracle there to make sure the Centaur died, because I think Double Edge would have killed KU there had he got it off.
Yeah.
Alright, shards once again there on the Weatherman. Dagger was there from KU. Fortune's End was used. Blinken from KU. Down goes Skullweiss, and now turn to Walrus Abuser. But PA and Oracle are both relatively low on HP, so simply a single kill on Skullweiss will be secured. Alright, looking over at the real runes, Nimviz is here, but Malefic is making sure that Itachi cannot get it, and instead will go to the side of League of Legends. Alright, at this point, looks like KU might be heading to... Never mind, he is heading for the creeps. I thought he was heading into the jungle temporarily, but he just wanted to get the tangles off his courier, I suppose. Nothing...
Tower Exorcism is beating it up pretty badly.
Half the tower is dead. Itachi TP'd in, but... Oh, good two-man Earthspike top lane onto Malefic and Teddy. Eddie is dropping very low. Stampede has to be used there by Mr. Walrus Abuser, and actually will save Eddie for now, though Gush is up on Teddy. Eddie needs to be very careful. As happens mid lane, Exo is now ending finally. Itachi took a little bit of damage there, so... Yeah, actually he'll be fine. He has battle charges.
Top lane, what happened? Centaur is just using his ult from the creep camp. Smile.
Saving his man Clockwork. Alright, we're seeing Oracle headed over by that outpost area near the Tusk. They will brawl, but nobody should die. Yeah, nobody will die. Alright, so at this point, lanes are relatively even. Once again, who has the burden of execution on them? Who has to do something first?
I think it's on the Dire to do something. That's kind of just their draft. They have one of their vanguards. They are closing in on the second one. Itachi mid lane on SF is probably just going to pick up his Yules and try and kill people, and they're just going to run at towers in general.
Speaking of being run at, Itachi is being run at. Battery Assault is there. DP was there. Siphon was there. Itachi's no longer there. Now Fortune's End is there on 2. AZ dropping low. A shards are there, but it does not save the line. Now they run at Tusk. Tusk, though, under that tower will be okay, but it is still 2 more kills for the side of Sheeesh, and they actually will siphon Skullweiss. They are diving this tower. Cryptstorm is up. They need a bit more damage. And they also do have a stick on the Tusk, so Tusk will be fine. This is mid tower.
Eddie going?
Where is Eddie going, actually? Is he grabbing the bounty room, perhaps? Oh, we're seeing a Tusk go on to the Oracle. Tag team is there. In comes the Fortune's End. It rooted the Tusk temporarily, but instead now we're seeing Malefic and Eddie in a bit of a brawl, but Malefic simply TP'd away from the Bristleback, so nobody died in the very end. And looking over at CS, Walrus Abuser is very happy right now on the Centaur. He is 80-0 on Centaur Warrunner versus, well, 67 last hits on DP, 57 on Shadow Fiend, 53 on Teddy Tidehunter, so he's by far number 1 in CS. Both carries are somewhat struggling. KU only has 51. Eddie only has 50, so they are far behind the other cores in this game right now. Net worth, though, tells a bit of a different tale, where KU is fine, but Eddie still is not very fine. Alright,
I love Vanguard.
Wait, who's the Vanguard now?
Now look at Centaur just taking the tower and just not taking any damage.
Oh, he's a hood as well. He's just so tanky. We are seeing Itachi, though, run at these Radiant side supports, so we are also seeing Radiant run at the bottom, the Dire side supports, but once again, nobody dies. We are seeing an attempt, though, on this these stacked Ancient creeps for the Dire. Malefic did scout it out, but they will not be there in time to stop it. Though Itachi is being gone on, Invis Rune is there. Now in comes Requiem, never mind, it's been cancelled. Gush is there on Skull Ice, but everybody appears to be A-okay. Where'd the tome go for the Dire?
I don't know.
Because both supports are very low level right now.
I'm gonna assume it was the Lion because he's level 6.
Alright, Requiem is there on 3. Death Velvet, very low. Ravage is popped by Teddy, though the Legends will still die, but it is an exchange. It's a 2 for 2 so far. And now, Eddie, big man, trying to fight, looking for Teddy. Earthspike is there, only it's on 1. Phase Edict is there from Oracle, but Oracle will go down to the very end, so it'll be 3 kills now for the Dire. And they will... never mind, they probably will not find Teddy. Teddy might be a little bit too... never mind, no, he's not too fast. Eddie is certainly going to find Teddy. Cool Spray is there. Earthspike actually missed. Anchor Smash did some damage, but instead Teddy simply will go down as 4 kills for the side of Rarecandy, and now KU is in the area, but KU is uninterested in fighting. But who is interested in fighting? That's Malefic right there. Has hookshot there onto AEZ. Battery Assault is hitting, but Earthspike is there on the line. Lion is on the run, and will barely escape from that one. And
well, that somehow heavily favored Dire because they now have a 2k net worth lead.
yeah, I mean, it was a very significant fight win in terms of number of kills in their favor, I suppose. They get, I think, 4 different heroes during that, so a 4 for 2 exchange. And they force out the Ravage and the Exo as well, right? So that's absolutely fantastic.
And they were the ones who got the tower bottom somehow.
Yeah.
Probably because the Centaur has 30 health regen at 12 minutes in a hood and a Vanguard. This man cannot die.
It's certainly difficult.
Like, there's 3 heroes here, and he could probably just go hit the tower twice and have walked away and been on full HP still.
Now, looking over at the B Fury watch, KU is working on his, has 2 components, is close to a third if you want to buy it right here, right now. Looking over at the side of the Dire, they have the next 3 most farmed heroes. Is Centaur, who we see literally tanking tower with literally no care in the world. SF has the Yules, is headed for the bots in a blink, so a bit of a defensively oriented build there for Shadow Fiend, and then Bristleback has that Vanguard headed for the Aghanim Scepter, as we have seen. Meanwhile, we are seeing Malefic and Skull Ice are brawling, but now both teams are headed over. Snowball is there, Malefic. Ghost Punch is used, Stampede is used as well. They want to kill Malefic. Eddie is running at him, look at the kill. Meanwhile, Stomp is there on the Oracle, Earthspike's there on 2. Oracle will go down there. Hex is there as well, secure the kill. Meanwhile, we're seeing Eddie run at Teddy. Teddy, quite low. In comes Tag Team, down goes Teddy. 3 kills for the side of Rarecandy. And they will perhaps run at the DP, though that is a bit of a harder kill. Meanwhile, as that happens, Itachi solo killed KU. Not sure how it happened. Back to mid lane. Hoof Stomps there on the mid lane. DP, Exo, and Siphons are popped though, so DP quite tanky. In comes Ravage. Hits on 3. Finger was tried to be used, but it was cancelled by the stun of the Ravage. Skull Ice goes down. Eddie goes down. They look for AEZ, and they will find him as well. An absolutely huge turn there by the side of Sheeesh. They lost 3 at first, but instead, Teddy buys back. They get 3 in exchange, though as that happens, Itachi gets a massive soul kill there with the Requiem onto KU.
Yep. I think we saw the one counter Radiant has to these Vanguards, and that's Spirit Siphon. DP just gets dove, but she just has 3 Spirit Siphons on 3 Strength heroes, and is just getting like 400 health a second. The only thing capable of stopping the Dire from just shoving down these towers.
It certainly worked. They had that's a very important turn. I feel like if Dire won, since we had a 4 for 0 there as it was looking, this game would be a lot worse for them. Instead, though, we're seeing Centaurs run at DP, has a DD, Hoofstomp is there only on the Tide, but Centaur somehow tanked all of that. Tanked the Tier 1 tower, the Tide Gush, the DP with Siphon and the double damage rune, and I think a range creep as well. Good old Centaur with Vanguard, Hood, and a Mango.
Yep. Bristleback is halfway done his Aghanim Scepter now, which is the other broken item of the patch. Bristleback Ags where he just spits on everyone, and the first time it hits you, you're down to 50% movement speed. Let's go.
Yeah, there's a couple Aghanim Scepters, a couple Aghanim Shards that are a little bit powerful right now, you know?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Obviously, Bristle is one of them, but he's certainly not the only candidate for overpowered Aghanim's Shard and/or Scepter. Bottom lane, though, we are seeing Malefic run at Centaur. We're also seeing a Snowball there on DP. Boss Punch is there. Now comes Malefic, has Hookshot in on Skull Ice. Stampede, though, is used. They are attempting to run away, it appears. Itachi was not on the same page, though. He simply ran in still, but he appears to be too fast to die with those Boots of Travel and the Yields that are being finished. Meanwhile, Eddie went for the mid T1 tower. He did get it, but Malefic is there with Battery Assault and Cogs. Malefic apparently does not want to be in those Cogs.
No. No, he does not. PA is actually going for a BKB first instead of a Deso.
Maybe she's thinking like BKB into Ag Shard type stuff and just ignore the Deso this game? Not sure what the idea is there, but we'll have to see it in action later. Because we're assuming she 100% picks up an Ag Shard after BKB, right?
I would assume they would need an Ag Shard before they try and fight this Bristleback. Because right now the only way for them to really kill anyone is this DP.
Even for DP, it'll be even easier for her to kill this Bristle if there are no longer bristles on his back, you know?
Yeah.
Alright, so it is a about 3k net worth lead for the side of Rarecandy. What do they need to do to start making this game a little bit more in their favor? They have a Blink on Centaur now finished. They have an Aghanims on Bristle very soon. At that point, you just run it down and try to choke the map out?
Yeah, I think you just need to play in this bottom Radiant jungle, take that tier 2 bottom, force out some Exos from League of Legends, play around that timer. Like, obviously, the moment she Exos, you can just Stampede out, then wait for it to end, then go back and hit the tower again.
Dire are S3 in the bottom lane, but they are only S3, but there is a Blink on Centaur if he needs to get away, as well as, obviously, Stampede, Hood active, Vanguard, etc. Radiant are also pretty split, though.
They do have this Ags completed on Bristleback now, so they might look to be more aggressive with that.
Yeah, he is ready to go.
Yeah, they're also picked up are picking up a BKB on this SF.
Alright, Hoof Stomp, Snowball, all are there on clock. Earthspike was used as well, and they have Finger if they want to use it. They will not use it. They will instead simply let Malefic die to the side of the Tusk.
I think he kind of got griefed by his Oracle gamer there, Purifying Flames.
Yeah, he would have been dead anyways, but I guess he died a little bit faster because of that.
Well, if he Fates Eaged him and then Purifying Flames, the next thing coming out was a double edge. He would have just blocked the damage.
Actually, yeah, Face Edict would have saved him. I don't think about it. So a bit of a misplay done there in that case. What's your thoughts on this build on Teddy right now? He has a Solar Crest headed for the Blink Dagger.
I think it's reasonable. The armor is obviously good against the Bristleback. Typically, Solar Crest is better against these heroes that actually want to right-click you. While Bristleback can right-click you, I think in a lot of these scenarios he's going to be running away because the DP is going to be on him. It's still perfectly fine to put on your PA.
I know, like in a lot of these games, we've been seeing a Solar Crest purchased a lot, but usually it's on either the 4 or the 5. It's on the 3. That's why I was a little bit shocked. Well, only a little bit.
I've seen a few 3s pick it up.
Alright.
Not a bad item.
Sheesh are coming in. Oh no! The Gush was not there in time! Centaur blinked away, Ravage was wasted, and now Dire certainly want to fight still. Or perhaps not, they'll actually Stampede away. Content with Ravage being down, Radiant will deny that tower, but unfortunate there for Teddy.
I mean, if I was Teddy's team, I wouldn't even be mad. That was just a really good blink by Walrus Abuser. He had the right idea. I think he probably would have been better off running higher up in the trees and just trying to blind Ravage and then throwing it out with the spit. But it's easy to sit here as the person just watching the game, not playing in it, and just saying, "Oh, you should have done this."
Alright, Walrus Punch is there on Malefic. In come the raises, in comes the finger. Malefic very low, goes down. Now Teddy trying to fight. Skull Ice will go down. 1 for 1 so far. False Promise is there now on Teddy. Teddy is still good to go. Centaur is very low, but he's still alive. And now, Requiem there. A lot of damage. Actually, not a lot of damage. Yules is used by DP, but Teddy still went down there. Now, in comes KU, looking for Eddie. Eddie quite low. KU has BKB, wants to fight. Dagger once again there on Eddie. He blinks in once again. BKB popped. Now he turns with another dagger onto Eddie. Turns to Itachi. Blinks it onto Eddie. Kills Eddie. Meanwhile, Lion went down as well to the Oracle. Now they're running at Itachi. Itachi quite low. Has Yules, but he might just go down there. Well, Hoof Stomp was there from Wallace Music, but slightly too late. Itachi went down. And for Sheeesh, they were waiting on the BKB on KU. They got it, and it's certainly allowed him to get a hell of a lot of damage there onto those dire side arrows.
Yeah, a little bit of unfortunate targeting there. Trying to ult the DP, she gets her Yules off, doesn't die. Now on top of that, she has a BKB, so definitely not going to be the target of these SF ultis.
Yeah, you need like a nullifier or something to even make that work at this point. It's just difficult. I don't see SF buying a nullifier anytime soon.
Well, I don't think it doesn't stop BKB anymore though, does it? I think it only stops heals and stuff like that.
I thought it stops if you can get before you use BKB, right? It mutes. Right?
Does it still do that?
Ooh.
I thought they changed it
Dispels.
so that it just purges.
Oh. I'll be. Apparently I did not know that.
Now the only thing you can do to stop a BKB is stun, doom, or disruptor Ags ulti.
Apparently I've seen so few nullifiers in the last like however many months that I didn't even know it changed like that.
I think people only pick it up against Pugna and like the Lesh Eggs, right?
Yeah. I guess Necrophos too.
Eddie has Blink Ravage.
He's,
I would be very careful if I'm standing in this Roshan pit right now.
Alright, here we go. Walrus Punch is there, but now in comes It's there on 5! In comes KU. Down goes Skull Ice. He buys back. Down goes AZ. Malefic comes in. Has hook shot. Roche goes down. Goes to Eddie. But Radiant still fighting. Malefic in. KU in. Walrus Abuser down. Malefic still alive. In comes Stampede. Eddie trying to fight, but he's in the middle. Aegis will go down here. And now Dire. Can they defend? They only have 3. But Radiant actually leaving. They're saying, you know what? We are content with what we got. Absolutely. Oh, that's a lot of discipline there by the side of Sheeesh saying, you know what? We'll leave.
I'm surprised they took that fight. They could see the Tide sitting there with Blink Ravage, and they just stood in the pit and just tanked it.
Yeah, they tanked a 5-man Ravage, and they're almost lucky it didn't go worse than that for them, you know?
Yeah, it was a really good cogs from Malefic there. Almost shoved the Bristleback out of the pit, but unfortunately just keeps him in just enough. Bristleback picks it up. And then the Centaur ulti with Ags allows the Bristleback to run outside of the pit. But just too low.
Overall, though, for Sheeesh, you have to be happy with that one. You get 2 kills, and the Aegis goes down, so absolutely fantastic there. I mean, you look at this situation now. If they want to get another Aegis, it'll be at least 6.5 more minutes. It could be up to 9.5 minutes. Disastrous.
Yeah, I think Dire just aren't respecting the BKBs and the team fight that the Radiant have. The PA has now picked up a Desolator and working on that Aghanim Shard.
Alright, I'm not sure what Skull Ice is up to, but he will get punished. Oh, never mind. He blinked away before the urn hit him. He's fine. Yeah, as you're mentioning, the PA just of Deso. She might test the top lane on Itachi right now. Dagger, Blink is in. Oh my god! Itachi has the wolves there on KU, but KU... Oh, never mind. Blink is there. Meanwhile, though, we're seeing a Siphon on Walrus Abuser, but Walrus Abuser also will simply walk away. KU is a lot of damage. My god. And, oh, we called it. And unsurprisingly, he has picked it up. Aghanim Shard is there on the PA, so it is Deso, B Fury, BKB, Ag Shard, and as you mentioned, Satanic is coming out as our next item. And they actually are grouped as 5. It could be smoke time with this PA Shard timing. It is a 5-man smoke. KU is forward. He popped his own smoke already. But also he can just blur if he needs to. Eddie is showing. They might go in on him right now. Dire are not fully grouped. Skull Ice almost got caught there on the side, but he is fine. Meanwhile, Eddie under tower is being blinked on. Fan of Knives is there, not being used just yet. Meanwhile, we're seeing a Hex there on Malefic. Malefic is being stunned as well by Earthspike. Now in comes KU, has Dagger once again on Eddie. They're coming in, but they will not find any kills on either side just yet. Tower is half HP middle lane. As that happens though, we're seeing Wallace Abuser hit the top tier 2 tower. That might just go down quite soon. But Radiant are still grouped as 5 mid.
There's been some weird engagements here in the past minute or so.
Yes,
I think the only way they're going to be able to kill this PA once she has the Satanic is if they catch her before her BKB happens with like a blink hex or blink stun, and then they just blink an SF alter. That's going to be very hard to pull that off. I think other than that, she's going to be unkillable when she has that item.
Yeah. We're at the point now where Rarecandy have this 3k gold lead, but it doesn't feel like it matters. Like, if I were you, I'd rather be in the side of Sheeeesh right now, right?
Probably, yeah. I guess I wouldn't want to be this Clockwork player right now. It's a pretty rough Clockwork game. The 2 supports that you can catch and potentially kill both have ways to get out.
Alright,
and the
in
3
comes
core
KU, Fan of Knives is there, but Stampede is also used. Now in comes Teddy, has Ravage, misses it on both. Skull Ice though will get caught. KU once again blinked on top of the Tusk. Fortune's End was there as well, so...
I think that's fine though. For the Dire, they get Ravage blown for pos 4.
I feel like if we looked at a distribution of the number of heroes Ravages hit this game per Ravage, it'll be a very odd distribution. I've seen a lot of like 0, 1-man Ravages and then a 5-man Ravage.
Yeah.
Honestly, the two 0-man Ravages were very unfortunate. Stampede, obviously a big part in that last one missing, and then, of course, good old Centaur made the other miss as well, so... a bit unfortunate, but...
Arcane Blink was about to be picked up by the Shadow Fiend, but he has instead changed it into a Aghanim Scepter.
Alright then. I wonder why he's doing it this game.
Is it sad that as this Bristleback, your best item might actually be a Ghost Scepter?
Yeah, that's incredibly sad, actually. Alright, in comes Tusk, has Snowball there, onto Malefic, Races are there. Cliff Stomp was there as well, and now there's no Clockwork, but they will smoke, looking for more. Radiant are on the retreat rapidly, and they appear to be leaving. Yeah, they are now TPing in the trees. All 4 gone. So the smoke will be wasted in the very end.
Man, imagine if he got Ghost Scepter and every single time he got broken, you just popped Ghost Scepter and the PA couldn't hit him. That'd actually be hilarious.
Doesn't sound fun, though. It doesn't sound fun.
You just get E-Blade and then stack a bunch of strength and just deck people with an E-Blade. How does that not sound fun?
We're seeing a Hex and a Finger there, and Oracle. Oracle's certainly dead. We're seeing a Lion not pick up his second stack of finger damage. It's the visualization with like a 500 damage E-Blade from the Strength Hero. It's just...
Only second stack of Finger of Death damage. That's gotta feel bad, because the 15 talent on the left feels so good. You're just sitting there as like a 3k HP Lion at 40 minutes. You're just laughing as the cores jump you, and you're like, ha, bitch, you can't kill me, and you just hex them.
Not too bad this game would only give him 140 health.
Yeah.
For now. That could
It'll
change.
be really good if he gets to level, what does he need for that? 28? If he gets it second He goes Earth Spike cooldown instead.
That's sad.
Clockwork might need to be a little bit careful here. Yeah.
Ice shards are there. Malefic has hook shot, but it appears not to matter. Lion is there. Dust is there. Hex is there. And as happens, Centaur is being a little bit frisky, but Centaur is fine. Malefic, though, not fine.
I think first game, Dire... Well, I guess not first game. Early game, Dire were feeling themselves a little bit too much, just willing to play into Ravage and Exorcism. And kind of let their guard down, got 5-man Ravage in the Roche Pit. And now I think it's almost the Radiant that are feeling themselves a little bit too much, playing extremely split. They're just kind of getting picked off constantly.
Luckily for them, pickoffs haven't been on important heroes, but as it happens, DP and Tide are being gone on mid lane. Spirit Siphon is there though on Centaur, so he'll be fine. Now KU goes. Oh my lord! Skull Ice certainly dead there, and Rarecandy now need to leave.
Yeah.
That's one of those blink and you'll miss it moments where, like, the 3/4 HP Tusk got one shot there by KU.
Yeah. However, unfortunately for the Radiant, Roche isn't going to spawn for another 2 minutes.
That's a long window on the Roshan timer.
Yeah. Although, by KU blinking to that camp uphill, the Dire now know there's a ward there, and I believe they pinged it out.
Yeah, they were able to see that one with their own ward actually over here, so yeah. It should be good to go in that sense. We're seeing Oracle, as you see some supports do sometime, has taken up residence in the Roshan pits. He knows it could be alive. Never mind, he leaves. Thought he might just stay in there perpetually. Fortune's End is there on Centaur. Phantom Knives is there as well. The Stampede is used. In comes Snowball. KU was force tapped, I believe, by his Oracle, and I guess everyone's okay in the very end.
Og. He got the Frozen Sigil on Tusk. Everybody on the Radiant's going to be moving at 2 movement speed, with in between Frozen Sigil, Stampede Slow, and this Bristleback Ags.
We've not seen Frozen Sigil in a while. Even in games that have had some Tusks in them, a lot of them have not gone for the second shard, so good to see it.
Dire scan out this Roche here, and not the Roche, the smoke.
He's even scouting the Roshan pit with the Frozen Sigil.
He actually popped the smoke and found them.
It's hilarious.
It's such a good ability. And nobody ever buys it. It's bad. they're moving up 60%.
They're not even trying to hit it. It's just...
too good. 40% movement slow.
Okay,
wait,
so...
it doesn't slow attack anymore? Ah. Attack slow is 0. What?
It requires 4 hits to kill, apparently. Okay. Right? It takes 4 hits to kill?
Yeah. Wait. The Sigil has unobstructed movement, has 310 movement speed, requires 3/3/4/4 hero attacks to destroy.
Yeah, that seems incorrect.
That implies that it levels up. It does not level up anymore, Dota. It's been a while since that thing leveled up.
Okay, Skull Ice. Once again, had some difficulties with KU. Ravage is there now on 2. Stampede is used, but now ahead to Eddie. Eddie is fine for now. KU, though, is stunned. Is Hex. Swift Stomp is there, but he is still alive. Still has BKB if he wants to use it. Daggers are there, hitting on 3. Snowball is reflected by the Lotus. Heads onto the Skull Ice. Skull Ice once again will die. It's a dieback on him. League of Legends took a lot of damage, but he was false promised and will be completely fine. That Hoof Stomp is there once again on KU, but KU is fine. As BKB goes in, looking for Itachi. Fan Knives is there, but Yules is there from the SF. KU looks for more, but Itachi blinks away. Now he turns to Eddie, but Eddie's still alive. And somehow this tier 2 tower... Never mind, there's no creeps. I was going to say, I feel like it should be dead right now, but I guess if there's no creeps, then it will not be dying today.
I don't know why it's not dead.
Ultimately, the lone man who died there was Tusk, who died twice in the same fight.
Yeah. Roche is up now, and I don't think the Radiant know. Or maybe they do know.
They're scouting it, and they now see.
Does Crypt Swarm give vision?
Well, they're going anyways. KU
that gives
goes in,
vision.
has dagger on 3, actually bashes the lion in the backlines. Rush is now there on, oh my lord. Centaur once again dead to KU. He does buy back, but now Radiant can grab the Roshan if they want. But instead they will do their patented sit at the edge of the tri-camp, showing on Tide, and wait for the enemy to go into the Roshan pit again. Okay, Dire went into the pit, they left the pit, now AZ, oh no, he's being forced in. Now Siphons are there, Lion is dead, and
I believe he forced that
is used. Now Lost Punch is there on DP, in comes Requiem, but it's cancelled by Hookshot, in comes KU, looking for SF very low, has needs one more hit to die, he will die. And now Centaur, Eddie, both being run at Centaur very low, he does die, Eddie has some HP still, Earthspike is there on the DP, Dagger is there on AZ, but he has the Eagle Scepter, so he is fine for now, but Radiant are still pursuing. Or instead they will pursue a kill on Roshan, that is Aegis, that is Cheese, that is an Aghanim Shard. Sigil is scouting. And Eddie is on the way in. Toss scout snowball, but it was too late. KU got the Aegis. Skull has actually got the Aghanim Shard from Roshan, but it cost him his life, and now League of Legends has a Yules there onto the line. They're trying to kill him. Gush once again there from Teddy. In comes Fortune's End. And AZ is quite low. He should be dead here. He did have that Ghost Scepter, but it did not matter. He died to the Crypt Swarm of League of Legends, and once again, Florida side of Sheeesh, they decisively win a team fight.
Yeah. Radiant just prioritizing blocking from physical damage. And all the Dire have is physical damage except for the Shadow Fiend. But it kind of takes a little bit of a wind up for him to get his magic damage off. And they have the ability to cancel that through BKB. So Dire a little bit sad on that one.
They have both the dash and the hook shot, both which have been used to cancel things.
Yeah.
T3 tower, now dead. Sigil is actually slowing KU. It's being quite annoying, but it appears not to matter too much.
Doesn't slow attack speed anymore, feels bad.
It uses this on the tooltip, attack slow 0.
Yeah.
Full racks are dead middle lane. They purged the PA, and now they're on the run. They're now headed perhaps for the outpost and the top tier 2. Should be both fairly easy to get if that's their choice. Meanwhile, looking at the SF, he is actually buying the Arcane Blink finally.
Yeah. I was just about to say, yeah, he's gonna have the Arcane Blink. He might get it off.
Should help.
And that will be huge. That is an AoE fear, and it comes back to him, since it's the Ags. So that could be a lot of damage, and it might be what they need.
Just having an ability to disrupt the team fight as well could be huge. We're seeing in these team fights, the Radiant has just gone in and killed like 1 or 2 heroes early every fight, and it's always Rarecandy fighting on the back foot, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's high ground siege time once again. Radiant still have Aegis, they still have Cheese, I believe, as well. Yep, they do. Awesome user went in with Low Stomp, but it's only starting KU. Eddie is trying to kite heroes around, but once again, they hit the range racks and the melee racks. Range racks are dead. Dash is there on Bristle, but now, in come Dire, they're willing to look for KU. They pop the Aegis, Requiem is there, hits on all 5. And they kill Malefic guys off, they need to do a hell of a lot more. KU is back, has Dagger, the in comes Ravage, hits on 3. Down goes Eddie, he'll buy back. They move to Itachi, he has Yules, moving to Centaur as well. Itachi, very low, KU searching for him. Meanwhile, League of Legends tanking the damage from multiple heroes. Itachi still being run at, Dagger is there, he will go down, he does not have buyback, he bought back earlier. Now Fall Thomas, they're on KU, but they actually have it on League of Legends. He'll go down actually, but so will the Centaur. Now KU still strong, has BKB, has Phantom Eyes, looking for Bristle. Bristle is there, they're going to probably kill him, or perhaps not actually. He's still alive and still kiting. KU actually runs away here. Finger is there, kills the Oracle, they move to Tide, Teddy quite low. Respect once again there, onto KU, Daggers, oh my lord. AZ went down there to the Dagger and the Blink Strike of the PA, and Methanax will go down as well, and ultimately the fight is a bit of a disaster for the Dire. They do get a bit of a luck out kill onto the GP because the False Promise was used on the PA instead, but it's still a disaster.
Unfortunate for them, they have the tools to blow up PA once, but Requiem obviously 57-second cooldown, and Shadow Fiend died so he could not use it a second time, and PA is just invincible.
Yeah.
They either need to stun lock her with like a bristleback with MKB, which I'm not even sure bristleback wants to buy an MKB.
You just not.
Or they just blow her up with Requiem, but again, they can only do that once.
And it's all those things where I don't even think KU used Satanic in that fight. He's just that tanky. And speaking of KU, oh god, oh, good blink away from Skull Ice. Barely escaped death on that one. If KU got that dagger off, then Skull Ice was extraordinarily dead.
All right. Well, you were talking about how we haven't seen Nullifier in a while. KU is going Nullifier.
Yeah, his courier is dead, so there will be no Helm of the Iron Wolf for a little bit longer, but he can always buy the relic now and just finish it later. Guess he's sick of the Ghost Scepters. Alright, the last outer tower for the side of Rarecandy is dead. Siege units are there. Meanwhile, Hookshot is there onto Eddie. They caught him under a Sentry Ward. Stampede is popped, but it is going to be a Yule Scepter from the Dire. They turn with Phantom Knives, they turn with the dagger as well, and now Eddie dead for 120 seconds. And that is going to be what the side of Sheeesh needs to once again go high grounds. The main damage dealer in a lot of senses for the side of the Dire, the main team fight hero in that bristle, is now dead. Exo is still half duration, so they will move to the top tier, or the bottom tier 3 tower. Earth Spike was there, but it did not matter. Exo was still hitting. The glyph is popped. Perhaps the last glyph of the series for Dire. Glyph Stomp is there. Can they kill DP Inc? Oh no, it's a full heal from the ulti. There's no chance that's happening. Smoke is there in the back lines onto the Tusk and the SF. They might go for a crazy and wild jump here on KU. KU actually has Rapier if he dies here, but he is under that blur. Dagger is there. Does some damage. Now, perhaps Itachi wants to jump on KU. But KU knows to be careful here. You saw what happened last time. DP is in that front line. Still hitting the racks. Range racks, half HP now. Nexo is up in just 20 more seconds. Snowball is in. Wall Punch as well. They go into Requiem, but it's cancelled by now. It gets cancelled by KU as well, and Tusk now dead. Wallace Abuser now dead. SF trying to fight, but he's half HP. AZ is low. They both will go down. It's a full 5-man fight, and the GG will be called. And for Sheeesh, 2 games in a row where they won off the back of good mid and late game team fighting.
Yeah.
If you're Rarecandy, what do you learn from this series? What are the lessons you need to learn from this?
I guess game 1, they just showed a little bit of miscommunication. A bit of a newer team that's gonna happen. Kind of were on different terms with that high ground fight, lost it, and then on the opposite end, another high ground fight, just kind of went in one at a time. Bit of pub Dota like almost. Then game 2, they kind of just drafted 3 melee strength heroes into a DP. They obviously showed that they could put this DP mid, and they even, well, technically they second picked it, but the only hero they had shown at that point was Centaur. And they just didn't have an answer for the 24 pick PA.
Yeah, I mean, if you would get an MVP for game number 2, it's probably KU, right?
Yeah. Despite being solo kills in the top lane, just seemed to always be number 1 in net worth throughout that entire game.
I mean, she was solo killed, but she was killed exactly once that game.
Yeah. Well, technically twice, but that was an Aegis, so it doesn't really count.
That does not count. Yeah, I'm looking at the hero net worth graph right now. That's one very defined yellow line there. All right, at this point, if you're Sheeesh, you have to be feeling pretty good about yourself, right? You had a stand-in who was lower MMR than your actual captain and 5 player, both games, and you win both games.
Yeah. I think they're obviously playing their strong heroes, but I believe KTA is their drafter, so they probably didn't want to try anything or play any of their other heroes. I'm assuming KTA just gave them a draft plan and said, pick these heroes
Press
if they're
these
not banned.
buttons.
Yeah, so I don't think it's out of the ordinary to just pick comfort heroes in a situation like this where your captain is gone.
All right, do you have any final analysis for this series before I go into my usual outro stuff?
Dota's a game of inches, and sometimes there's this great meme called Amogus, and it pisses Badger off.
I just don't like bad memes, okay? I just don't like bad memes. You have any, that was your final words, callouts and or shoutouts for the people of League of Lads and Twitch.tv/Badger Papa, wasn't it?
I think if we all put our heads together, we could very easily overthrow Guam as head admin.
Okay, that's another interesting statement you've made there.
I didn't even say that one's a bad meme, that one's a good meme.
It's too real.
Or is it a meme? We'll never know.
So I've lived being a head admin overthrown. It's not fun. Either way, though, thank you for tuning in to the 2-0 beating of Sheeeesh on the side of Rarecandy. I am Badger. I was joined by Artorius, and if you enjoyed my casting, if you want me to cast your games, want me to cast your tournaments, contact me on Discord, Badger number 5713. Have a great night.